En man som också förknippats med mörka krafter, det är rockstjärnan Alice Cooper. Under en period på 70-talet så vägrade till och med andra band att uppträda på samma scen som Alice. TV4 Sofia Eriksson tillbringade en hel dag i Stockholms nöjesliv tillsammans med denne mytomspunne man. Och resultatet av det mötet, det ska ni få se nu.
Do you have drive-ins here?
No, we don't.
See, now this is the perfect drive-in car.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, my parents would go to the drive-in, and they put the pajamas on us. Right?
Yeah.
We'd be in our pajamas, and we'd say, "Oh boy, my sister and I would go, we're gonna stay up all night. This is gonna be great, you know." And at the end of the cartoons, we'd be, we couldn't stay up. There was just no way of staying up.
Jag ska träffa Alice Cooper. Vad nervös jag är. Jag blir alldeles pirrig. Hihihihi. Hej då. Hej Alice.
Hi, Sofia.
Hi, Sofia. How
Do you
are
want to go with me to the Tivoli?
I'm going to go with you to Tivoli. Tivoli Gardens. I remember Tivoli.
Great.
All right, now we're talking. If I saw that car, I'd buy that. 1957 Eldorado. Oh, this is like a date. Like a date. Date.
Listen, darling, now I'm headed for the west. Straightened out my head, but my old heart is still a mess. Yes, I'm worried, honey. Guess that's natural, though. It's like I'm waiting for a welcome sign, like a hobo in the snow. How you gonna see me now? Please don't see me ugly.
Nej men gud vad det är fan en kamera där!
Oh, I don't know. A couple hours. There you go. Okay. I told him I was in the Backstreet Boys. I listen to all the new music. Oh yeah, I love the new bands. I really like bands like Offspring and Zombies. I think they're really good. I'm not one of those guys that sits around going, "Oh well, back in the '70s, you know."
But do you only listen to rock music or do you listen to
I listen to everything.
disco, soul, R&B?
I don't listen
everything?
to disco.
Don't.
I don't listen to disco.
Okay.
And I don't listen to country. Two
I
things
hate
I stay
country.
away from, yeah. And I live in Arizona where country is a big deal.
Marilyn Manson must hear every day that he copied your style. Do you listen to his records and music?
I've only heard one or two of his songs. I like that song, The Dope Show. I thought that was a good song. But I think the thing that makes a big difference between me and Marilyn Manson is our shows.
Yeah.
When you come away from an Alice Cooper show, you come away happy. It's like you have confetti in your hair and you feel like you've been at a great party. You come away from a Marilyn Manson show and everything's kind of like dark.
Depressing.
Depressing, yeah, and I don't understand why.
But you've done a lot of crazy stuff on stage.
Crazy stuff, but fun.
Chopped heads out of chickens? You killed
I
yourself?
never killed a chicken. in
You
my life.
didn't?
Never.
Okay.
That's one of those urban legends.
Okay.
One of those, those great rumors that everybody invented. I never did that.
But you never went too far, over the edge?
No,
You think
I
it's
thought that what I did was always in the worst of taste with the best of taste.
Okay. Okay. But your new collection of records now in this box, it must be so difficult for you to choose. You have done a lot of music.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's 25 albums, and I had to go back and choose 80 songs out of that, which is really hard to do because I have my favorites.
Yeah.
And I can't necessarily put those on the album because they're not necessarily the ones that really represent that album.
Some of them you don't even remember you have been recording.
There are 4 albums that I don't remember doing. That was when I was
That's
having
not
a
so
very
fun.
bad problem with
Yeah.
alcohol. And I don't remember doing Flush the Fashion album, Zipper Catches Skin, Dada, or Special Forces. I remember parts of it, but...
That was the Royal Theatre back there.
Oh, that was? Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
I have to...
should play there sometime. Yeah, you're the tour director here.
This is a nice street.
I love this street. I mean, when I used to work out, I'd stay over there at the Strand. And I was working out for the show because the tour was coming up, and I would run this river all the way down, back about 10 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you run alone?
Yeah.
No, you have to have like
No, I
bodyguards?
No, because nobody could catch me. Even if they recognized me, they couldn't catch me.
The name of this record is The Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper. Tell me about your crimes. Have you
I
done
always
something
thought-
really
No,
illegal?
no. I just think that the whole Alice career was based on Alice being a rebel, Alice being a villain. There were so many rock and roll heroes, and then Alice was a rock and roll villain. He was a character that was like the Joker, or Dracula, or somebody that was sort of like the anti-hero, And I always thought that the guy that always played the villain was more interesting than the hero. So I just figured rock and roll needed a villain, and I decided to be that villain.
How do you think your family would describe you?
Dad.
Dad?
I
Yeah.
have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I have an 18-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
They like your
married,
music?
I've been married for 23 years.
But how do they describe you as a
But
person?
see, they understand that Alice is Alice.
It's Vincent.
Yeah, what they do is they see the character on TV. Even my 6-year-old, she doesn't go, oh, look, there's Daddy. She says, look, there's Alice. And that's correct, actually. It's very correct for her to say that's Alice because that's not Daddy, that's Alice.
But nobody calls you Vincent.
No, my mom does, and you do.
Okay, no, I don't call you that. I just wonder. Your mom and
My mom goes, Vincent, take out the garbage. Rock and roll is nothing new. I mean, my mom was an Elvis fan, so I mean, the Beatles wasn't such a big shock for her, and the Rolling Stones weren't a big shock. So, me being in a rock and roll band and everything, she
But you put on some crazy clothes and some.
I think I scared her a few times. I used to have to take everybody in the family to the show, to rehearsal.
Oh, okay.
And I would say, okay, this is how the guillotine works. And I would say, this is what happens. It comes down, it releases me here, it misses me by that much.
And I don't die.
And I don't die. I said, so the audience is gonna go, but you won't get that reaction because you know how it works. But I would have to tell them because it would scare them to death, They would be just like everybody else out there. It was a scary trick, though, because the guillotine really only did miss me by 5 or 6 inches.
But you were never afraid?
I was a little bit afraid. It wasn't that easy to do. If I didn't move at the right time, the blade would hit me.
Ooh!
And
But if you look back at all your shows, is that your favorite one when you had the guillotine?
The hanging wasn't that
bad
fun
either.
either, yeah. Because if your hands are tied behind your back and you have the noose around your neck and they pull the floor out and you drop, there's a device that catches you before the rope does. And every night you're hoping that works.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't,
Oh, that's horrible. You scare me just telling you.
I know.
Here's the Tivoli.
Yes, let's go. You're gonna think this is funny, but I don't mind putting my head in a guillotine, and I don't mind hanging and doing all that stuff, but I do not ride roller coasters.
Okay.
Everybody in my family.
I thought you were a tough guy.
No, I know, I'm not. I'm a wimp when it comes to that. All my kids love roller coasters. My wife is like probably the biggest daredevil of all time.
Okay.
She'll go upside down, and the faster the better. And I'm the one standing down there with all the toys, all the big stuffed animals going.
But you're winning. Do you have luck when you go on this?
I win
wheels?
everything. I win everything.
This is like free fall. You go up all the way up there, and then you like.
Now, see, I never do that. But I'll bet you they would never put their head in a guillotine.
No. But so your everyday life is, you do ordinary things.
It's actually very normal. I know a lot of guys in rock and roll, guys like Michael Jackson, Elvis, that secluded themselves so much that they became almost non-human. They were so insulated that they never had any fun. Yeah. They never got out and did anything. When I get to a city, the very first thing I did when I got into Stockholm this morning is I took a walk for 2 hours right in the middle of town. I wanted to just go right down to the shopping areas and walk around because I want to see the city. I don't want to be locked up in my room.
That's true. This is the spooky house.
This is the spook house.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to go this way.
You can hold my hand. I promise.
We're going to go in there?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
Okay.
All right. Not so fast. Okay. Everybody actually thinks that I live in a house like this,
They're live.
Hey, it's Marilyn. Spice Girls must be here.
But this doesn't scare you, does it?
No, I'm fine.
You live like this, don't
fine.
you?
This is okay.
Just hold
I'll
my
be all
hand.
right. I'll be okay.
No, but you have to tell me, do you live like this? Everybody must think that.
This looks a little like my house. Yeah. My recreation room.
Ooh, nerd and mod.
Just det, spindlers.
No, I don't live like this. Alice would live here now. Alice would love this place.
TV and media now blames like rock music, TV, everything for all the crimes in the American schools. What do you think? What is the problem for youth nowadays?
Okay, I always say, what TV show and what music was Genghis Khan listening to?
Yeah.
I mean, insanity, murder and death and insanity has been going on forever. It's not necessarily the what's going on in the arts. I mean, Shakespeare was the bloodiest plays of all time. I mean, he wrote the most. I never wrote anything as bloody as Hamlet. And no, was people blaming him back then for people dying? I'm not going to totally relieve rock lyrics because I think that if you say in your lyric, "Go kill a cop," then you're responsible for that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you look at the lyrics that I do, I've never told anybody to do anything. 99.9% of kids anywhere in the world understand reality from fantasy. I mean, it's very obvious. It's like this. If you walked into this place here, you know that this isn't real.
But what do you think is the problem then for the youth?
I think that there's definitely what happened like in Littleton, Colorado, and what happens I think that there is pure evil out there. And I don't think it necessarily has to do with music or movies or anything. I just think it's there.
But it must be important if you're a famous person that you take stand for.
Absolutely. I would say that You know, anybody in their right mind looks at what happened at Littleton and says, how insane. That's absolutely insane. There's a lot of bands, you know, that say that they're Satan worshipers and they're devil worshipers and all this. And, you know, I tell them, if you like that, then you'll love what happened in Littleton, because that's the work of Satan right there.
Yeah.
You know,
you've been accused being a Satanist.
I have, just because I wear makeup and I do, you know, and I act crazy on stage. I mean, I've been a Christian.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean if you're a Christian, doesn't mean you can't do rock and roll and you can't do funny horror. You know, so I mean, I take a big offense at people calling me a Satan worshiper. I'm not, okay?
I trust you,
Okay. Have you met my dad? This is my father. He's a good guy. He's a very good guy. He's looking good. A little sallow. He should get more sun, I think.
But do you live a glamorous life, do you think, as a rock star?
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. Stay in the best hotels. Drive around in 1957 Cadillacs with pretty girls. With pretty girls. I mean, how good is that? Yeah, it's a glamorous life. It is. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be stoned out of your mind.
No.
You know, I think in the 70s, we thought that was important. Now, I think it's stupid because our generation proved that drugs don't work and alcohol doesn't work. This generation should at least figure that out now. They should be going, yeah, well, we already saw that Jim Morrison's dead, Jimi Hendrix is dead, Keith Moon is dead, Janis Joplin's dead, and all because of alcohol and drugs. So, I mean, I think you have to learn from that.
Want to go up?
Sure.
Stairs?
Sure.
Kom Alice, så går vi till kärlekstunnel.
Nej Sofia, det är inte bra för mig. Det är inte bra för min image.
Jo, nu går vi till kärlekstunneln.
Nej, vi kan inte gå dit. Jag har så ont i huvudet. Vi måste gå och köpa tabletter.
Okej då.
Do you usually have headaches?
I get sinus headaches. But, you know.
Usually you get headaches or backaches.
No, I really don't get that thing. The only thing I ever get is like a sinus headache right up in here. I get it
It's
a lot.
like migraine, maybe?
It's not migraine, no. It's not migraine. It's just, when you have a nose as big as mine, you get all kinds of, I get like birds caught up in there.
But I heard if you have a big nose, you have...
Yes, well that's
That's true.
Yes, let me talk a little lower now. That's true, big nose.
Nu skyndar vi oss Sofia.
Den här vägen Alice. Här.
Very good tabletter.
Okej.
The best memory of everything? Well, you know, I got to work with some people that I never thought I'd ever get to work with. I got to work with Salvador Dali. I was a model for his...
For him? With your nose?
With my nose. It was just my nose. No, it was a hologram.
Okay.
It was the first hologram that was a moving hologram. And he shot it all the way around so that you looked like you could put your hand right through it.
Wow.
It was the first three-dimensional...
It must have been a long time ago.
1973. But I mean, the idea of working with Salvador Dali was unbelievable because I was an art student. That was he was my hero. You know, he was my absolute hero. He also did a sculpture of my brain.
Oh.
And he came in and he had this plastic brain, and on the stem of the brain there was a chocolatey Claire dripping down, and there were ants crawling all over it.
Oh.
And it spelled out Alice and Dali in ants.
Oh, that's a nice memory.
This is the Alice brain.
I got no friends 'cause they read the papers. They can't be seen with me, and I'm getting real shot down, and I'm feeling mean. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Clean. No more Mr. Nice Guy. They say he's sick, he's obscene.
But it must be, are you, because you're meeting all these people, are you still impressed? Because
very
like
impressed.
me meeting you is something very, you know, wow. But you are still impressed
I
with
was
meeting
very
people.
impressed. I was less impressed meeting rock and roll people, even though, I mean, you know, when you're talking the Beatles and the Stones, that was like, that was a royalty, you know. Or Elvis, I met Elvis, and that was like royalty. But I meant, you know...
How was he? Was he fat then when you met him?
No, he was really, really in good shape.
Okay.
And In fact, I went up to meet him, and he's standing there and he goes, "You're the cat with the snake, ain't you?" You know, and he said, "Yeah," and he said, "That's cool, man. I think that's cool." And he says, "I want to show you something." I said, "What?" And so we went into his bedroom, locks the door, and I'm going, "Uh-oh, what's this all about?" You know? And he takes out this, he pulls the drawer out, and he's got this police report where he got in a fight with 3 guys. And he really was a good karate guy. And he was going, says, "Man, I broke the guy's arm here when I was shot, and I do that." He was really proud of this.
Show this
yeah, that was very important.
I'm all alone, so are we all. We're all clones, all the one and one are all the one and one are all.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That it was very, very important, you know, that you brush her hair every day. Now let me tell you about my mom's hair, okay? She had this great hair that became all. She hello?
No,
I
go
guess
on.
she didn't
I'm
want
really
to hear
interested.
about my mom's hair, I guess. Oh well, let me tell you. So, anyways,
Thank you for the date.
Thank you. That
This
was
was
great.
really nice.
See, it was a totally platonic date. Nobody got in trouble. She tried to get me into the love tunnel, but I didn't fall for it.
Det har varit verkligen jättenice här, men jag måste dra till Amerika nu. Hej då Sofia!
Hej då Alice. Gullis.
Say ba.